To, today, we are in this. Just so you know, these past couple sessions have been ninja-ish. It's during our ninja time. These are not ninja instructors who are presenting this information, but there is some great information from these people on creative ways to generate listings. And what I'm trying to do, because hey, it's January, February, right? And we're gearing up for the spring market. And I want to just plant some seeds with you guys on some ideas and messaging you can use to reach out to the contacts you have, reach out to the contacts that you want to have, reach out to the neighborhoods you're farming, whatever, with messaging that you can leverage into generating some phone calls and more listings. So last week, we taught, there was the instructor talked about, and by the way, these are NAR courses that I'm snipping because I bought all the rights or bought all the courses and I'm snipping pieces out of them. And so last week we taught, the presenter was talking about generating listings, some things. The two big takeaways from that one, or a couple of takeaways I had from that one, were the highest probability demographics, or the most active demographics that are selling right now, are between 22 and 30 years old that have owned their home 1 to 4 years. So if you're farming, if you're farming people, and I know maybe CA can speak to this, she can generate lists for people who've owned their home 1 to 4 years. I don't know if there's any demographic overlay as far as age is concerned, but that, title companies have access to some of this information, if not all of it. And then the other demographic is 50 and over that have owned their home 20 plus years. So those are two kind of like places to start if you're trying to, either farm an area or looking at your own database. Those are kind of higher probability points. Now, the gentleman today, his name is Jared James. He's a coach, he runs a national coaching company. CA just spoke up earlier and said that they had hired him for one of their sales presentations. He killed it, and she's been following him ever since. He's a pretty high energy guy. He's got a couple ideas where I'm like, meh, right? So on the outset here, he'll lay some things down that are pretty good, and then he goes into like generating your own institutional buyers, like with investment, creating an investment club to be an institutional buyer. That's a little like, maybe, but I don't think that has a huge wide footprint. But then he gets into like specific messaging to send to people, and the reasons why to do it and what it generates, because he tracks all of these things he does as to responses. And so that's what kind of turned me on. I'm like, okay, I like that when somebody says, we use this messaging, we send it out to X amount of people, and we got X amount of responses. I mean, that's just checkers, people. And so, so anyways, without further ado, I started it kind of midway in, or a quarter of the way into the presentation here, and he talks pretty fast. So this will be about a half an hour, and then we'll cut it and we'll discuss and talk about things that you all could do, or maybe bounce some ideas off each other to start generate some listings, because it is anemic out there right now, and we need to get aggressive. If you just sit around and wait for crap to happen, it's not gonna. I'm just telling you, we have to get proactive about this, and in a professional way that is, engaging in all those things. But so here are some awesome ideas. Let me share my screen. And there is no video. He has slides that will show on this, but it's kind of a static graphic, and it has him talking in the background. So sorry that that's not more engaging, but I think you guys can keep up. And there were no printed materials with this, so you probably want to take notes. And I'm recording this, by the way, and I will have it up on DeltaNet for everyone if you need to refer back to it. Here we go.
Okay, we've got probably about 700 people in here. There's probably multiple are going to do it, okay? So I'm going to give you everything for free. Sound good, guys? Can we eliminate that barrier if he's trying to sell us? I'm going to give you everything for free. Sound good? Yes. Awesome, let's go. All right, starting off, there's 3 ways to get business, right? You can wait for it, you can pay for it, you can make it happen. Those 3. And by the way, all 3 can work on some level. Some of you are like, I don't pay for business. Yes, you do. We pay with money or you pay with time. One of the 2. By the way, money's much easier, okay? A lead is a lead is a lead, whether it's coming through one way or the other. So these are the 3 ways we can do it. Let's talk right off the bat, one of the easiest old school ways, which is email. I'm gonna give you guys 3 different templates you can use. Verbatim, we use this with thousands of our students, will generate business for you. Sound good? All right, here we go. By the way, you know why email works? Email is still the most effective form of marketing. Do you know that? Outside of referral, which you can't control, email, it's not even close. You know why it doesn't get taught? I teach it, but you know why it doesn't get taught? It's not sexy. We're gonna learn email marketing today. You know, and a lot of you are like, well, it's got a 21.6% open rate. You know, nerd out like that. You probably say 20%. There's a 20% open rate. Oh, email sucks. There's only a 20%. What the heck marketing are you doing with a 20% open rate? Facebook is 0.047. What are you doing that has a 20% open rate? And people hold on to their emails, guys. Some of you still have an AOL or a Netscape that you forward to your Gmail because you just never know. True or not true? Raise your hand if you know someone that does that. Okay? Are they in your seat right now? Email. So here's one you can use. You're going to notice you need catchy titles, subjects. Okay? You got to get to the point. You got to lead with some kind of something they want, right? So number 1. You won't believe this is the subject. Hi, so-and-so, you won't believe this, but I've got 2 buyers looking for a home in blank that are ready, willing, and able to go, but unfortunately, due to the extremely low inventory, we've been unable to find them anything. That's why I'm reaching out to you. Can you do me a favor? And if you or anyone you know is even considering selling, please let me know right away. I may be able to sell your house without it ever hitting the market. That is called COVID-style language, guys. This works like freaking gangbusters. I don't even know what gangbusters is, but it works like that, okay? It really does. And you're going to notice this verbiage over and over again. Because winning in real estate is about saying the right thing at the right time to the right people. Over and over and over again. That's how it's going to work. I had a friend ask me recently, I'm doing 5 cities a week, and he goes, don't you ever get tired of saying the same thing? I said, yeah, kind of. But I went, not really. And it's not the same thing everywhere. You mix it up, whatever. And I said, but when I talk to an audience, I don't think to myself, hey, that's the 1,000th time I'm saying this. I think to myself, it's the first time they're hearing it. You get that? It's the same thing with your real estate business. Say the right thing. Say it over and over. Say it to the right people. By the way, there's a little bit of a lie in that email, if we're really clear. How many of you think there's low inventory? How many of you know you're getting set up right now? Guys, there's not low inventory. It's all
Eric, I think you're muted and I see your lips moving, but we can't hear you.
Okay, are you guys seeing the picture clearly, or is it blurry?
Now it's better, yeah.
Let me make sure I optimized it. I thought I did, but it's stranger things have happened. So let me just verify that. Sorry, you guys. No, I have it optimized. Interesting. Okay.
Eric, even if it's not, if we can't see it, if maybe you can send me the link, we can all extract this into text, or have Jenny or Kim extract it into text for everybody.
Okay. Yeah, I will. I'll send you after this recording after I get done. So that's because that's the only way I have it. So, anyways, back to it. Sorry.
Low inventory. We're going to have almost the same number of homes sell this year that we had last year. That's not an inventory issue. That's truth. I just talked to a broker I'm going out to this week in DC or Maryland or something like that. And he said, Jared, I just looked up on the MLS. Last year at this time, we had 30,000 sales. This year at this time, we have 36,000 sales. That's not an inventory issue. That's a demand issue. See, one of the things that happened with COVID that nobody talks about is that in every single market, it's like a dog track race, right? You got the dogs at the gate, and then they lift up the gate, and they've got the number of rabbits. They got one rabbit they're going after, right? And there's only a certain, the dogs are the buyers, and the rabbit is the listings. What happened when COVID hit was that the dogs at the track at the gate just kept lining up and lining up and lining up, and the number of rabbits didn't change. And then they lifted that sucker up, and you had way more buyers going for not as many homes, and this is what happens. Does that make sense? It's not an inventory issue, guys. It's not true. Go think about it. I'm not going to debate you now, but it's just the truth, not inventory issue. Second one, and by the way, that's COVID-style language right there, right? If you or anyone you know is even considering selling, let me know. I may be able to sell their house without it ever hitting the market. They're like, what? I don't have to have people going through. I don't have to, okay? Opportunities, visibility. Let's look at this second one here. Okay, who knew that Zillow could be so off? Okay, if you want to get high open rates, just put the word Zillow in there, okay? You just heard your reaction when I said it. You haven't even read the email yet, okay? It says the market's crazy right now, and there's a lot of misinformation out there. In fact, did you know that the former CEO of Zillow sold his home for more than 40% less than his estimate? Who knew that Zillow could be so inaccurate? Here's the good news. If you or a friend wants to know the true value of their home or a house they're considering buying, just reply to this email with the address, and I'll let you know what it's really worth. Every one of these emails, guys, is designed to get 3, 5, 7 responses, little by little by little. Makes sense. Next one. I'm ready to solve a dilemma you might have. Okay? As you may or may not know, we have a serious inventory problem, do we? What do they think, though? Serious inventory problem. In blank, more importantly, it may be causing a dilemma for you or someone you know that I'm ready to solve for you. What is that dilemma? You may want to sell, but you're unsure that you could find another house worthy of moving into. For that reason, I've decided to offer my... By the way, you guys run into that problem. Yeah. Want to sell, but anybody run into that problem, yes or no? Yeah. Everywhere, right? For that reason, I've decided to offer my services free of charge to keep an eye out for you and what you might be looking for, as if that usually costs money. Which includes notifying you. Now, these are buzzwords, guys. These are the things they want to hear, okay? That includes notifying you of off-market properties when they're brought to my attention. Do buyers want to know about properties before? Okay? I only do this for my top clients. This is called scarcity. So please reply to this email with your needs ASAP to reserve your spot atop my list. Otherwise, those off-market properties, someone else got in front of you. You see what we just created? Okay, don't send these 3 days in a row, okay? 1 week, a few weeks later, maybe next month, another one, a few weeks later, maybe another month. You see how this starts happening? Get creative. Email marketing is the #1 form. Do you know a recent study was done? Email marketing has 42 times the return of the next level of marketing. 42 times the ROI. Did you all just hear that? Email marketing, a recent study showed, has 42 times the return on investment than the next type of marketing as far as the next one in second place. 42 times. Think about that. I don't even know what second is. I'm not even sure. I mean, I can take some guesses, but 42 times, guys. Okay? For those of you that exercise in here, if there was an exercise that burned 42 times the calories, but took just as long, everything's the same, would you ever do another form of exercise again? You'd be like, that's it, Zumba goodbye. Like, I am whatever this is, right? 42 times, okay? Let's talk about another way. We're getting into it slowly here. Compelling call to action. A call to action is not your contact info, okay? Again, for everybody new in the room, I'm going to give you these slides for free. Everything's coming for free, okay? Compelling call to action. #1, how many of you have seen that one before? Guaranteed sale program. Have you seen that? Sell it in 30 days or we'll buy it. You guys have seen that? Okay? And a lot of times it's a top producer in your market. A lot of you go, well, that's stupid. Do you know what kind of stipulations come with that offer? Have to go with the price that you say, have to reduce it every 7 days at the amount you say, and if after 30 days it doesn't sell, you'll buy it at this price. I work with who at the time wasn't, but then became the #1 agent in the country. Doing that program, he sold the crap out of that program. And you know what he told me the other day? He said, guess how many times people actually took advantage of that program? 0. Visibility trumps ability. Got him in the door. We'll sell it or we'll buy it within 30 days. People are like, what? He goes in, he tells them, here's how the program works. Boop, 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 boop. Here's how the traditional works. Which one would you like? Everyone goes traditional. But you have to be an option. You see how that works? Another one, instant offer. Here's an interesting thing. How many of you have an actual marketed, put together instant offer package that you market to your marketplace? Did this just turn off? Because here's an interesting point. 93% of sellers said they want an instant offer. 93%. Less than 1% ever accept or take that instant offer. So other companies are doing what the consumer wants, selling them back to you, and you're complaining. And competition does what? It was 7 minutes ago, guys. It either eliminates you or makes you better. But you're like, but I can't do an instant offer. I don't have that kind of money. Yes, you can. You have investors in your area? Go look up your local RIA, your REIA, Real Estate Investors Association, or whatever it's called in your area. They meet monthly. You know all those investors making cash offers that are really lines of credit through hard money lenders? Go to those meetings. Make a deal with 5 different investors. Every property I bring you, when I bring it to you, you make an offer within 24 hours. They're going to be like, absolutely, that's more opportunities. You go then market your instant offer program. Instant offer, which is different because look at how many people in here raised their hand. Differentiates you in the marketplace. You go in front of them, you get them offers within 24 hours, less than 0.5% of the time they're ever going to accept it, and guess who now is listing their property? Instead of buying it as a lead from someone else. You guys with me, or we're good? All right. How many of these do I want to cover? Certified pre-owned, we do this with all of our students. It works, it differentiates you. Every single property, you create this. By the way, if you guys want to know how to do some of these programs, like actually see them done, if you go on Facebook, it's free. We have a group on Facebook called Jared James Coaching. It's 18,000 agents from all over the world who do everything but post their local listings no other agent cares about, right? It's network, referral, mastermind, share ideas. You go into our group, Jared James Coaching, on Facebook, type in Certified Pre-Owned or CPO. You will see examples of agents all over the world on exactly what they've done to create their program, what's offered in it. So for example, to have a Certified Pre-Owned, every property you list is going to come with an inspection already done. You're going to make a deal with your local inspector, get half price. You're going to do it on every property you list. Every buyer is going to get a copy of that inspection. Any major thing has already been handled. Every property comes with a home warranty already, certified pre-owned. Buyers like it, sellers love it, separates you. One more thing to talk about when you go into a listing presentation. Not when you list with me, it's going to go on these 112 sites and nobody's ever heard of 111 of them. Okay? So go into Jared James Coaching on Facebook, put in CPO or Certified Pre-Owned, steal it from another agent, one that you see that you love, go over to Fiverr, 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 Fiverr.com, or Upwork, UPWORK.com, pay some graphic designer from another country $10, tell them to replicate what you just sent them with your coloring, with your logo, with your stuff, and within 24 hours, you have a CPO, a Certified Pre-Owned program. Or you could overthink it. Let's move on. Use social posts. Here's one. Okay, so some of this wording you're going to have to mix up a little bit because it's changed, the times have changed, whatever. But look at this right here. Let's get real about 2022, right? You're not going to say 2021. After sitting at home for a year, after sitting at home during COVID or whatever it is, what are 3 non-negotiables that your next house is going to have that your current one doesn't? This is going to leverage the algorithm. Facebook and Instagram, the algorithm is no longer leveraged by likes, okay? It's leveraged by comments. So all those people who are going to comment who have no real, seriousness about selling or anything, and they're just saying, well, the next one's not going to have my husband, and the next one's, and they're awesome. It's not a waste of time because it's leveraging the algorithm. Comments, and it's showing up to more people. But you're going to get in there 5 to 10 people that are completely serious. Well, we're actually thinking of it, and here we go. Visibility trumps ability. You guys see that? Okay? What about another one here? Doing a little research on a scale of 1 to 10. How likely would you be to sell your current home if I brought you the right buyer at a great price? Watch the responses. Okay? You're going to get hundreds of comments. Okay? Somebody just posted in our group that one I told you about. And they said, oh my God, I just got 3 listing appointments after posting one of these things. I can't believe it. And I didn't know whether to be excited for them or to be a little pissed off that they were so shocked. I'm like, what do you think we're doing up here? Like, yeah, it works. That's the idea. Next one. Here's another post. Same kind of concept. What's one thing your next house will have the current one doesn't? Another one on a scale of 1 to 10. How happy are you with your current home? Guys, we're just bringing in feedback, questions. You see how that works? You get a lot of them who are going to be, it's a 2, I hate whatever, but they're not moving. But you're going to get those few. And what are those few worth to you? They're sure as heck worth a post. Putting a post out, right? Let's talk about another one here. How many of you are leveraging stories on Instagram? Okay? Instagram, Facebook, stories are where it's at right now, guys. It's the last view on social that has nothing to do with an algorithm. Meaning every view you get on a story is somebody going with their finger and clicking on your circle. Right? There's no, I went on YouTube and the algorithm showed it to me in the feed. Every view counts. But we're not leveraging polls enough. People love polls. So you put, and here's the beauty of stories too, opposed to regular posts, they disappear in 24 hours. Okay? So unlike regular Facebook, Instagram, when you post on your normal feed, and a lot of you are posting that, you know, that new listing at 123 Nobody Cares Street every other day, and so everybody blocks you or just, you know, hides you because they don't, that's not what they went there for. People don't go on Facebook to see your listings, okay? They go on there to stalk their ex-lover. Let's be honest, okay? When you put polls up there and you say, hey, have you had thoughts about selling the next 12 months? That not only do I get results, when I swipe up, it shows me who said yes, who said no. And by the way, when I get yeses, what do? And here's the beauty, guys. You guys aren't like me. Your market is not the world. Your market is local. You don't need thousands and thousands of views and votes. You need 2 people who go, yeah, I've had thoughts. 2 people. 2. Wow, 2 leads, just like that. Reach out. 24 hours, that poll is gone like it never happened. 2 days later, similar poll. Similar question, and it doesn't get overbearing because it's different every time, and it's not just sitting there in a stream of sameness. Does that make sense? When we were selling, we do an event every year, the Jared James Advance. Creative, I know. And last year, we had to do it because of COVID, we had to do it virtually, right? And so we started putting out polls on my Instagram and my Facebook like, hey, have you been meaning to get a ticket but haven't gotten off the fence? Or have you been, you know, whatever. And we get these people, hundreds of people, yes, yes, yes. I take that list, I give it to my sales team. We make them a special promo offer. We sold hundreds and hundreds of tickets worth tens and tens, maybe hundreds, tens of thousands of dollars. Leveraging polls. See how it works? Okay? Next one. Okay, before I talk about this one, can we all just, since I have so many of you realtors here in the same place, can we stop creating the FSBO market, please? Okay? When you put out that new or just sold postcard to your area, 57,000 offers in 8 seconds, sold it for 2 times what we were asking. You're creating FSBO market. Do you understand that? Hitting home right now? Every potential seller in that area is going, why do I need you? This seems pretty freaking simple. All I see is every single person putting their house on the market and getting ridiculous offers very quickly. Why am I paying you a percentage? You are literally creating, if you're new, FSBO, FSBO, fastest, shortest business opportunity, for sale by owner. I realize some of you are like, what the heck's a FSBO? What is he? He's like a Frisbee? Does he have a lisp? So instead, because by the way, people, old school, people look at those postcards because they care about their neighbor's property, okay? So we're gonna take credit on there though, okay? We're gonna say just sold, was able to generate credit, enough interest to create multiple offers and negotiate a sales price above asking. Now here's the key part, call to action. Contact info is not a call to action. So I'm gonna have a call to action now. I'm gonna say, hey, did you know that this sale, your neighbor's property selling, may have changed the value of yours? Would you like to know how? Now when I say may have changed, that's called Communication 101. Communication 101 says it's not what I say that matters, it's what people hear. So when I say this may have changed, if they're thinking of selling, they heard, I didn't say it went up. I said may have changed. You see that? And now I'm generating interest with something we know they're looking at. Does that make sense? So postcards do work, old school, but you need to do it right. Stop stabbing yourself in the back, creating the FSBO market. You're killing, I know we're all about ego. You know, I know we put up billboards that are so worthwhile. Won't do digital marketing because I'm not really sure exactly what the ROI is. But then we put a billboard up. Go to the local networking thing and someone goes, saw you on the billboard. Worth it. Okay, here's another one. Guys, this is very step by step. How many of you, when you sell a house, you put it on social? Okay? This is very step by step. You have to do this the right way, okay? So what you're gonna do is, you're gonna post a picture, but get the step by step, okay? Number one, you're in the picture, okay? Why? Because these kind of posts, just like this, new homes, engagements, marriage, they all get a lot. You know why? Do you ever notice they get a lot of comments? Because there are words in the algorithm that trigger. One of them is congrats or congratulations. If you ever want one of your posts to go viral, just write congrats. Half kidding. But we want them to see us in this photo, right? And we're going to give them credit, and we're going to say congrats to my clients on the sale. They were amazing to work with, you know, blah, 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 whatever. And then I'm going to say, this means I have room for one more seller, for one more buyer. See what I'm doing? Because who's going to see it? Whose people? Not only mine, but whose? Now, here's the key point, guys. When you put that up on the day of the closing, do not tag them. Okay? You're like, why wouldn't I tag them? I want them to share it. Want them to share it? Yeah, we want them to share it. But we're not going to tag it at first. You know why? Because they're on one of the most stressful days of their life. Death, divorce, and moving. They might miss it, right? They're thinking about the fact that the house didn't get cleaned out the same. And taxes were $214 more than what they said. And they are not, we don't want them to miss it. So we're going to post it, hope they see it and share it. But if they don't share it, we're going to wait 3 days till they settle down, go back, tag them now. They see it 3 days later, what do? Share it to their feed with all their people. It's going to get thousands of impressions, hundreds of comments, and who's right there? Hands on their shoulders, right? Congrats, they're amazing. This means I have room for one more. Who do you know? You guys see the difference? Step by step makes a difference. It's not just posting it. Next one. It's a great one right here. Not like all that crap I talked about so far. Okay, so this right here, right? First off, every time you sell a home to someone, you need to put it in either your CRM, that's that thing you all pay for but don't ever use, okay? You're either going to put a reminder in your CRM that's going to come up a year from now to remind you to give them an updated value, or put it in your calendar, it's going to remind you. But here's what you're going to do. With every single one of those people, when you call them in a year and you reach out to give them an updated value. By the way, any of you invest in the market, you work any of that kind of stuff, do they not give you a yearly update on your portfolio? So when we call, and by the way, real estate, #1 contributor to wealth, #1 contributor to retirement, #1, like, house, right? So when that reminder comes up for every single one of my clients, and if you haven't done this up till now, take every one of your past clients, and between now and the end of the year, reach out to every one of them. Want to give you an updated value, not of your home, but of your portfolio. Very important. Home speaks to one. Portfolio speaks to what? Multiple homes. Average home in the last year has increased by over $59,000 across the country. Hey, just wanted to give you a quick update on the value of your portfolio. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but you have about $59,000 in equity. Did you know if you took 32 of that and put it into this multifamily right across town, you generate about $1,250 in net revenue? And they're like, what? They're like, first off, Mama said I wouldn't amount to anything, and I have a portfolio. First off, okay? And number two, they would love to invest their money, they just don't know that they can. You see how that works? Do you now have more value than somebody just opening a door? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, portfolio. Every person 1 year after. Every person now, and not just 1 year, every year. Every year. That's how you're staying in touch. Average lifetime value of a real estate client. Anybody know what it is? Awesome. $117,000. We got some JJ followers in here. Awesome. Referring to myself, third person. $117,000 average lifetime value. How many of you would treat your clients a little different if they walked around with a sign that said, I'm worth $117,000? Yes? Yes. Constant touch though. That value is going off to other people because they don't remember you. They don't, right? So that constant touch. There's a lot of other things we could do too, but this isn't the class for that. Constant touch for things that actual value, okay? Letting them know the value of their what? Portfolio. I want to give you an updated CMA. Come on, guys. That sounds boring. It sounds expensive. And it sounds like you're talking to one of your colleagues. Talk to them, okay? Next one. I told you we're going to go rapid fire, guys. Here's a really good one. How many of you have people in your database that are not previous buyers and sellers of yours? They're just people in your database. Yes? Okay. Here's what you're going to do. 5 people every day. And I already know there's going to be someone, I don't have time to do 5 people every day. I would love to follow you around every day and see what you have time to do. 5 a day, but here's what you're going to do. This is very specific, okay? You are going to pick 5 people from your database, and you're going to create a video for each one, individually, one-to-one, okay? You are going to go on either Zoom or BombBomb or like one of these places, right, where you can do a screen share of your computer. You got me, right? And what you're going to do is you're going to go to Google Earth. It's free. You're going to go into Google. You're going to type in Google Earth. And guess what's going to come up? Google Earth. There's going to be a button that says Launch Google Earth. Guess what you're going to do? Once you do that, it's going to ask for an address. You can put any address in the world in there, and it does an overhead of that address. You can zoom in, you can go around, you can whatever you want to do. What you're going to do is you're going to go shoot a video. You're going to put in their address individually. You're going to shoot a video over their property, moving around their property, with you in the little corner in the bottom, right, when you're doing screen share, talking about what's happened to their property, what's happened to the value, what's happened. You're going to talk about those things. And guess what? When you send that one-to-one to 5 people a day, when they get an email with a video that has an overhead of their property, do you think the likelihood of them watching that goes up or down? Up. Do it with 5 people a day. One of our coaches, we taught them this about 4 months ago, and she said to me, she goes, Jared, what the hell have I been doing this whole time? I said, what do you mean? She goes, I've been doing this for 10 days. She goes, you taught us it, whatever. She goes, I've been doing it for 10 days. She goes, I've listed 3 properties, and I'm going on 2 other listing appointments. 5 a day. Contact. You can wait for it, or you can make it happen. Does that make sense? Yeah. I know we're afraid of rejection. Oh my God, someone who doesn't know me is never going to think of me again in 5 seconds, going to say no. Oh. So I'm going to struggle with my bills and go on vacations I can't afford, but God, I am not going to be rejected by someone I don't know and they don't know me. You guys get it? Okay? Next one. Targeted video email. I wish this was a 2-hour class, guys. That's what one person says, and everybody else hates my guts if I go over. They can leave. Targeted video email. Here's another one, very specific, guys. You're going to hold up. You're going to do a video, and the screenshot of that video is going to have 2 numbers on it, okay? And the subject's going to say, find out what these 2 numbers have to do with the value of your home. I'm saying that in the subject, because when we say their home and the value, do they open it or not open it? Then they see the 2 numbers. They're like, what the heck do those numbers mean? You know what those 2 numbers are? You're going to look up the amount of appreciation in the local market and in the nationwide market over the last year. And you're going to talk about what those 2 numbers mean and what it means for them and their property and what it means, and you're getting more visibility about the value of their home, leveraging the curiosity of what that means. Does that make sense? I told you we were going to go rapid fire. Let's go. I might come back to this one. I got some other ones I want to cover. Okay, hey, number 1 way to get listings. Anybody know what it is? It's up on the screen right now, guys. This is not where to struggle. Okay, we all want sellers, and we're like, I don't want buyers. It's just so, okay. Number 1, not even close, number 1 way to generate sellers right now, buyers. You want to catch the mice? You got to have the cheese. You want sharks? Chum. Don't know where that came from. Okay, sellers, buyers. Okay, so there's a couple things you can do. Number 1, first off, we need to know that statistically, whenever a listing comes up in an area, within 30 days, another listing comes up in that same area. Within 6 months, 2 to 3 more. Does the listing agent own that other potential listing? No. Nope. We got to get there first. Make sense? So every time you show a property, you guys ever showed a property in a neighborhood to buyers and they didn't buy it? Yes. Ever happened? We get agreement here? Yes, right? Buyer neighborhood letter. It's an opportunity. We sent out a buyer neighborhood letter. I'm going to give these to you guys for free, okay? Buyer neighborhood letter is going to go out to the area. If you're in the U.S., cheapest way to do it, go to USPS.com, United States Postal Service, the beacon of efficiency. Someday. USPS.com has a thing called EDDM, Every Door Direct Mail. They mail out not with stamps, but in mailing routes, okay? Much cheaper, okay? So what you're going to do is every time you show a property and it is not they don't purchase that property, buyer neighborhood letter goes out to all the neighbors and says, hey, I showed this, and I know I'm talking fast, guys, but I'm trying to get through a lot of info with you, okay? So, hey, my buyers just saw your neighbor's property over at blank. Unfortunately, it wasn't the right one for them, but as I'm sure you're not surprised, they absolutely love the neighborhood. What they're looking for is, and you describe every property in that neighborhood, okay? Due to the low inventory, they've been able to find something so far, but if you or anyone you know is even considering selling, would you please let us know right away? We may be able to sell your home without it ever hitting the market. See that? And you got buyers ready, willing, and able to go. Okay? Imagine if you hired a virtual assistant, or you just had an assistant, or you did it yourself, and you did that every time you showed a property. Business looks a little different. Or you can overthink it. You guys getting the trend here? Okay? Don't leave here and overthink. Okay? When you live in your head, you create problems that don't even exist. True or not true? Right? When you live in your head, you create problems that... I saw a meme, it was a showering meme the other day. It was clean, pardon the pun, but I just mean it wasn't actually showering. And it said, what happens in the shower? It said 3% bathing, 97% winning fake arguments in your head. Number 2, we have a template called buyer offer not accepted. How many of you have made offers on a property and they weren't accepted? If not, you are brand spanking new. Welcome to the industry. It's not always like you see on HGTV, I promise you. You sell 4 homes and you're an expert, you're a millionaire. True story. I was just backstage, I'm friends with a lot of them, and one of them, we were backstage at an event, we were both going on, kind of next, one after the other, and I said, how's business going? He goes, good, 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 you know, told me his sales volume. I said, my God, man, in your market, that's about 4 homes. He goes, yeah, it's 4 homes. So no offense, but in my world, that's called failure. Like we certainly don't teach other people how to sell homes. Here's what you do, get on TV and sell homes at 25 million a piece. Sell 4, 100 million. Next up, buyer offer not accepted. We've made offers that weren't accepted, right? Which means it's an opportunity. It means they love the neighborhood. Letter goes out, guys. Hey, my buyers made an offer on your neighbor's property. Unfortunately, due to the high demand, it wasn't accepted. They're ready, willing, and able to go. If you or anyone you know is even considering selling, they absolutely love this neighborhood. Would you please let me know right away? You guys hearing the same thing over and over? Hear it? Every time. Do you know how many sellers our students create with these stupid, simple tactics? Because they just do it over and over and over and over again. Guys, we're all busy, right? New agents, experienced agents, everyone's busy. I was trying to get my son to do something with me the other day. He's in high school now. I know, tough to believe. I want to believe that, guys. And he's like, hey, Dad, I'm so busy. Oh my God, I'm so busy. So busy. Okay, if you're not responsible for another human being, you're not busy. Let's just be clear. If you don't have a child, if you can game 4.5 hours a day, I'm just ranting now. Let's move on. Here's guys, guys, this strategy right here, this is not a COVID strategy, this is not a post, this is every single time. When you have a buyer, you're gonna do this from now on, okay? First off, how many of you have a listing, you spend money on that listing? Raise your hands real quick. Okay, how many of you have a buyer, you have a budget for the buyer? And I'm not talking about gas. See what just happened? What just happened? Well, that's, I don't know, we've never done it that way. I don't know. It's not what top producer Bob did. Like, I don't know. Easiest way to underperform on your potential. Get romantic about the way you got here. So what you're gonna do, every single buyer you work with, because the greatest opportunity for sellers is what? Buyers. What are you gonna do? You're gonna either do a video like this, okay? Or you're gonna be doing a professional look at it, whatever's good with you, but every buyer is gonna get this video. It's gonna say, hey everybody in so-and-so county or so-and-so city or whatever it is, I've got a buyer looking for a 3 to 4 bedroom, 1 to 2 bathroom, 1,500 to 2,000 square feet in the so-and-so school district, but due to the low inventory, been unable to find anything. They're ready, willing, and able to go. If you or anyone you know is even considering selling, can you please let me know right away? I may be able to sell your home without it ever hitting the market. Hear that video right there? Okay, did I struggle? How come? Because I'm a pro. I practice. A lot of you want to get paid like pros and you act like amateurs. You don't practice. You wing it. Well, I'm attractive. I've got charisma. If I get the interview, I get the job. Guys, that's everyone in the freaking industry. Okay? Doesn't work. You're pro or you're an amateur, okay? You gotta know what to say. So you shoot that video. You know what you're gonna do with that video? You're gonna promote it, pay to promote it, $20. Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, the 3 most important platforms for you and your consumers. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You're like, but Jared, I don't know how to promote. Find a 13-year-old. You think I'm kidding? That's not an excuse. Find a 12-year-old. They know how. $20. Put it out there. Okay? You're like, oh, I didn't grow up with this stuff. I didn't grow up driving. I figured it out. $20. Put it out there. Your business will grow when you go outside of that sphere, which has limited growth perspective. Your business grows when people in your area who didn't know of you this morning have to make a decision about you by this afternoon. Make sense? Your business grows when people in your area who didn't know about you this morning have to make a decision. How many of you walked into this class and had some context with me? You've heard of me, you've watched videos, you've seen whatever. Raise your hands, raise your hands. That felt really good, but not as bad as this is about to feel. How many of you had no context and just walked? I mean, could you guys give it a second? Can I finish the question? Good Lord. Take a guy's feelings into. The guy's like, kid, but that's business growth. You never heard of me. Now you're gonna go watch videos, you're gonna sign up for stuff, you're gonna do. Business grows when people this morning who knew no idea who you were by this afternoon have to make a decision about you. See how simple that is? Okay, shoot the video. 20 to every single buyer. Now look, digital marketing. Yeah, you can't promote to zip codes anymore because it's discriminatory. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. It's discriminatory because open houses, they should go to 25 miles because that's who's looking at the house. We live in a world right now where literally, like when you look at it, women's magazines can't promote to women because it's discriminatory. Now here's the good news. Everyone's following the same rules though. So even if it's stupid, eliminated marketing, doesn't matter because we're all playing on the same chessboard. So if that rule is for me, it's also for you. And so I've got to find, if I can find a way around that, if I can get better and you go and give up, I still win. When the game gets more difficult, my mentality, it just got easier for me to win. That's how I look at things, guys. I really do. While all of you are like, oh my God, they did that. It's so stupid. It doesn't even make sense. It's whatever. Like, I feel bad for my competitors. Because I'm like, it just became that much easier. I'm going to win. That has to be your mentality, okay? So you don't know how to do it? Get a 13-year-old. $20 on every single video. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You know what's going to happen? By the way, the cheapest view in the whole world right now, you know what it is? YouTube. You know why? You guys ready for this? We're going to do a little sample. You ready? You ready for this? You guys know I can see you, right? Like, it's not a... Just want to be clear. There's a lot of people in here, but this is not a convention center. Like, it is, but it's not. Like, this isn't a 30-minute keynote where, like, it's a sea of people and I can't... Like, when you guys don't respond, I can literally see you. Okay? So let's... That's how it works. So watch this example. You ready? How many of you in the last 2 weeks, or whatever, have watched some kind of a video on YouTube? Raise your hand. Look around, guys. Look around. Look around. Okay. How many of you have paid to promote your video on YouTube in the last 2 weeks? Whew. What just happened? Anybody just see that? You don't need to turn around. You'd see as many hands back there as you did up here. We're acting as marketers differently than we're behaving as consumers. You guys follow that? Yeah. We're acting as marketers differently than we're behaving as consumers. YouTube is good for us, but no, I'm not going to be the one. I'm not doing that. It's the cheapest view on the whole internet. Paid promotion on YouTube. And you know why? Because of that you just saw. Because of the limited amount of competition. Hope that sticks with you. Next one. Okay, I think we all know expireds are not the opportunity right now. Right? I'm not going to teach you about expireds. That'd be, you'd have my permission to go to sleep, right? If a property expires in this market, there's an active murder going on. Not even like a not even like a previous murder. There's like, Jason is in that home and it still might sell above asking. And then one of you would say, sold above asking, 27,000 offers, 3 dead people. Too far, okay. But here's where the opportunity is. Old expireds. Here's what you're gonna do. Go look up on your MLS the last 2 to 5 years. Every property that expired and did not get either relisted or resold. So it expired and never sold again. Those people still want to sell, but they couldn't. Why couldn't they? It's, guys, I know they say it's because you didn't put it in the New York Times, you didn't put it in the Wall Street Journal. We all know why it didn't sell. Price. It's always price. Always, right? But what's happened to the market the last 2 to 5 years? And a lot of them don't know they can still sell. So you're going to look up every property in your area the last 2 to 5 years. It's going to be a very small number of properties, okay? You're going to send them out. We're going to give you this template. It's called Still Want to Sell. It's a very simple template that goes out that says, hey, saw you tried to sell, you couldn't. There's a lot of reasons why that happens. You may not be aware, but you actually might still be able to sell, and it goes through all these different whatever. We had one of our students tell me 3 months ago, he followed this strategy. When he pulled up the list, there were 33 properties on that list, okay? 33. He listed 9 of those properties. No competition. They wanted to sell. They didn't know they could. And while everybody was going after the same, they're fishing in the same area of the pond, got smart. So let me do a little research. Let me pull up those. Listed 9 out of the 33. Think about that for a second. So yeah, expireds are not an opportunity right now, but at the same time, guess what is, okay? We know that. Now, I got some other stuff I'm going to give you guys. How many of you guys want, I'm going to close here in a second, but how many of you want those slides and you want the free training and you want templates, scripts? Very simple. See that email at the bottom right there? Yes, Y-E-S, at jaredjamestoday.com. You guys see that? Yeah. All you do with your phone, rather than take a picture, just send an email right now. Go in your email. Send an email, doesn't matter what the subject says, send an email to yes, Y-E-S, at jaredjamestoday.com, not jaredjames.com. Yes, at jaredjamestoday.com. You're going to get an immediate response. I'm not even sure what's on it, I'll be honest. There's probably some resources, something, I don't know. But within a couple days, you're going to get an email that's going to say something like, NAR attendees, here's the free stuff Jared promised you. And it's going to have a link to a page with all the training, all the templates, all the dialogues, all the everything, the slides, everything for free. Is that a deal? Awesome. Now, how many of you have heard something that you know you need to implement in this very short amount of time we have? That's why I'm talking so quick with you guys, okay? How many of you heard something you know you need to implement?
You're muted.
Sorry, yes. Why am I all of a sudden forgetting to unmute myself? I don't know. Just want to say he had a couple of things there at the tail end, but they're not quite as impactful. You know, it was just little add-ons. So the bulk of that, and really what I'm trying to provide you is we spent January talking about our database, farming our database, building our database, organizing our database, and that content. I want to start out February with like, let's get in front of people we don't know. Like, let's generate a database. Let's generate opportunities. And some of these are a little aggressive. I get it. Some of them maybe aren't very ninja-esque. But sometimes you gotta gamble, right? And take a chance and get aggressive, and not in a way that's unprofessional, not in a way that it says you don't care, you know, all those things. It's simply that, you guys, it's a dog eat dog world out there, and you're in sales. So I'm trying to give you some practical knowledge that you can move forward with. So out of those things you saw, does anyone want to comment on something that kind of struck them as something like, yeah, I'm doing that?
That Google Earth thing, I'm doing it like today.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's cool. I'm gonna mess around with it, but
and what do you have to lose, right? And
right.
If you have multiple screens, you could even have all of their neighborhood information up there, right? In Paragon or whatever.
Heck yeah.
Look at the stats like, hey, in your neighborhood, average price is 455 and or whatever it is. And, kind of make it engaging and have some meaningful statistics behind it. So it sounds credible, but it's just, again, we live in a world where we have all these opportunities to leverage technology to get in front of people, and we're really not doing it. We're really not, and except with rare exception, there are some people who are, and guess what? They're seeing success from it. So why aren't we? So Tyler, that'd be cool. Let us know. So today's, my challenge to you is do one of these things this next week. All of you can do one of those things, right? The email message about Zillow, the portfolio thing. I just emailed an article out to all the managers. So and I'll put it in chat right now. Speaking of, because this dovetails with exactly of kind of a messaging he's doing. And so I sent an email out to the managers and said, as an example, because this article says that Boise and Spokane, Washington are in the top 2 markets on the West Coast of return on investment on a typical real estate sales in 2021. The average percentile of return on real estate in 2021 in Boise was 121%. In Spokane, it's 86%. So like, why wouldn't I post that article and say, hey, you want to know how, if you want to know what this has done to increase your wealth over the past year, I would love to meet with you and talk and show you what your current value is of your home or whatever. You can wordsmith it however you want, but those are the kind of things that are just engaging. Like you're paying attention to the news and you're putting out in front of people and you're excited about it and you want to continue to help them and educate them so they know what's going on in the world as far as real estate goes. And again, they may not be selling, right? Who cares? That face-to-face is the relationships in the conversation. So generating that face-to-face is key. And this is a great excuse to do it. So take a look at that article. And to answer your question, Kelsey, I don't have any of these materials or slides, and they didn't offer them. So basically all I have is this video that I'm recording. So you can either refer back to this or give it to Cassie or whatever, and they can transpose it. But I didn't get these slides. And so Kelsey's not even paying attention to me right now. She's totally having a side conversation. She's zero interest in what I'm selling her. That if you see Kelsey, you can let her know that I don't have the slides. So so any other
Sorry,
take?
we got sidetracked over here. We're talking about what we were going to do. What one thing that we were going to do was.
Okay, I was just giving you a bad time. I don't have these slides, and so basically all I have is this recording, and there was no slides attached as far as materials go. So I mean, I can try and email them, but I don't have them to provide.
Okay.
Any other takeaways from this? Something that you think you guys can do? Nothing. Hector, how about you? You're a cold calling fool. Like this has got to be way easier than the stuff you've been doing.
Yeah, I've been taking a little break from cold calling. It's just been tough, but I've gotten a few people interested from social media, actually, just posting stories and stuff. So
Good.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and those polls, like the polls that he's talking about, yeah, duh. If you're already doing that, start doing the polls. Like, how happy are you with your house? Or what's the likelihood you're going to sell in the next 12 months? All of those things. And again, if you get, and I don't know how many people you have, viewing your story, but I would imagine it's in the hundreds. And so if you got 1% return on that, right? One person goes, yeah, you know, I'm thinking about, it's just a way to start either adding to your database or prioritizing your database, saying, oh crap, I didn't know Eric was thinking about selling in the next 12 months. Now I do. I gotta, he's a priority now, right? Getting information on. So there is a way to leverage this back into your ninja, activities. So cool. Anything else that somebody took away from that, Kim? Anything? And yeah, or John, you unmuted.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. So I had never thought about creating a video for a buyer, letting people know that you have a buyer that potentially looking for this kind of property. I never thought of that. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's an easy one. And again, that video and that interaction, I mean, listen, people, I don't know if you look around you when you were in a public spot. I'm looking at Kelsey right now and look what she's doing. She's doing what everybody else is doing, right? We're there. You go anywhere and you look around the room and people are like, whoop. And so why aren't we engaging them in that space? And it's something you can do.
Is the bus coming for me today? And I'm
No. That wasn't. I did. You kind of deserve to ignore me for earlier, but the phone thing was just a true example. That's we are so engaged on our phones, and kind of the techniques he's talking about is leveraging that attention span and getting in front of people in that space where they're singularly focused. So anyways, I hope this was helpful. I hope you got something out of today. That's kind of all I had. We'll continue on next week. We'll probably jump back on the Ninja track and start talking about just reviewing the processes and those sorts of things, because it's been a while since we've done that. And so we'll do some breakout stuff and just work on our interview techniques and questions and things like that. I think it's appropriate. And then in the meantime, I'll keep on trying to mine this these educational things I got from NAR for little tidbits and breakout videos for them to share with you all. So, all right, any other thoughts before we close today? Kim, what do you think? We do okay? All right, she's like, don't bother me. I'm not gonna unmute myself, Eric, no matter what you say. So cool. Well, glad you can make it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And have a wonderful rest of the day, you guys. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks.